NHRA Today acknowledges a promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by Mac Friends, sponsor of the Jim Epler race team and provider of Macintosh computers to NHRA Today. For solutions to your personal and business computing needs, call 1-800-426-6781.
What kind of a differential does it take to handle 5,000 horsepower? Well, you're looking at one right out of a Top Fuel dragster. Right now, though, we go back to more Pro Stock qualifying with Brock and Dave.
Steve, we don't have 5,000 horsepower out on the starting line. It's more like 1,300 out of these gasoline-burning 500 cubic inch engines that power these 2,350-pound automobiles to speeds over 194 miles an hour. We have a pair of Oldsmobile Cutlasses doing battle here, and both of them are currently qualified. Frank Iaconio, the slowest of the pair, at a 723, is in the number 14 spot, while Mark Howick is currently qualified with a 717, the best run ever of his career, and that puts him number 8. Bob Fry, as we have seen earlier in this program, some drivers are able to master the conditions.
Most of these cars are dealing from the same deck, David. I mean, they're all 500 cubic inches, gasoline-burning carburetors, and you're absolutely correct. The guys that have been able to get them off the starting line and keep them running for the entire quarter mile are the guys that are going to be up in the top half of the pack. Howick is a case in point with a great 17 earlier in the day. Iaconio is not. His best has been at 23.
Well, let's see. Here's the launch. Remember now, it's strictly against the clock, so the finish doesn't mean anything here. It's ET to count. And it will be Howick in with a 719. He falls off a little bit. And Iaconio, well, he still stays in the 15th spot at 723.
You noted there on the lens on our camera at the finish line, there's actually a spider sitting on the lens. This is not a horror movie, folks. This is bug time here in Dallas. I'll admit, for some of our drivers, it is a bit of a shock. Maybe they're thinking it's Halloween a bit early when they bog the motors on the starting line. Who knows what's going to happen? Here's Mark Osborne at the wheel of the Jerry Haas owned and built race car. Haas, one of the most talented chassis builders in the business. This car not qualified. Ricky Smith, he made it in the earlier session today, is right now 16th at a 723 at 190 miles an hour.
So Ricky Smith looking to improve. Obviously, he's on the bubble, and that's not a good place to be with a strong field like we've got here today. How's it look down there, Bob?
I think Osborne bears looking at. Watch him go. The car had one problem earlier in the day, but left the line well here.
Osborne, the former competition eliminator racer, runs 724 with a 9, 724 with a 2 for Ricky Smith. Not good enough to qualify, and Mark Osborne does not make it. Let's go to Steve with the number 1 qualifier.
Well, everyone's been talking about Pedregon and Forrest. Well, Chuck Edgell stole their thunder last night. Your quickest ride ever, a 5:10. It was a beauty.
Yeah, Steve, we were really pleased with it. We've been working on some new technology and cylinder head-wise and fuel system-wise, and I think Maynard is really on to something big, so hopefully we can beat those guys up.
Can the car run quicker yet?
Well, by looking at the motor and everything last night, it sure can. I mean, whether the track will take it, whether we make the right calls in the clutch area and the horsepower area to do it is another story. You know, we just don't know.
We'll be watching.
Well, we'll be trying.
I guarantee you John Forrest and Noah Pedregon want to come up against this man in the early rounds. He could spell big trouble. Right now, here's how qualifying looks in the funny car category. Here's the 1st through 8th with Edgell's obviously on top. Remember, there's one more session of these cars to go. And here's the picture, 8 through 16. Again, in this category, 1 races 16, 2 races 15. Gary Dencham is on the bump. The higher you qualify, the slower car you get in the first round. Let's go back to the booth, guys. More Pro Stock.
And what a pair. Here is the Oldsmobile of Larry Morgan, the number 2 qualifier at a 714. He is up against the patriarch of the Glidden family. That's right, Bob Glidden, with his last chance to qualify the Ford Pro. His best run thus far, Brock, has been a 725. That's only good for number 22.
Right, Mac, as Morgan's in here with a 714 in the second qualifying spot, as you said, but Glidden, all kinds of pressure on him. How many years has it been? And this man has just been the awesome force in this Pro Stock competition. But right now, Bob Fry, definitely Bob Glidden working to get up a couple of spots in this starting order.
No, you can't win if you don't qualify, Brock. You saw his kid qualify with a 22 earlier. You got to like Bob's chances right here.
Larry Morgan running the best he has run in his career with a 7:14, but look at Glidden go. 7:14 for Bob Glidden at 193 miles an hour. Talk about solving your problems. He moves up to number 3. You know, there's a very special organization that would love to have you as a member. Steve, tell us about it.
Well, David, the National Hot Rod Association is the largest motorsports sanctioning body in the world. And you know what? It's made up of people just like me and everybody you see here. True die-hard drag racing fans. It only costs $48 a year, and you get 48 issues of National Dragster magazine. That's the prime benefit. Plus, there's a pen, a badge, a decal, a rule book, and lots of other goodies. And if you call the number on your screen right now, you'll get free your choice of a Diamond P Video Drag Racing 91 or the hot new NHRA T-shirt. Make that call right now, and for some good WDRS action, be in Phoenix, Arizona next weekend, plus John Force match race with Shirley Muldowney. Join NHRA. I think you'll enjoy it. Welcome back, everyone. More live drag racing coverage from the Texas Motorplex. You see Ed McCullough and his old pal Bernie Petterly. They're talking about Top Fuel and funny car qualifying to come. Right now, more pro stock with the guys.
Steve, we have just seen a remarkable performance out of Bob Glidden in the Ford. 7:14, that puts him number 3. Here's Vince Curry. He's running in the number 6 spot at the moment at a 7:16, 192 miles an hour. His competition, Brock?
That's Harry Scribner, and I'll tell you what, as he just saw Bob Glidden jump 17 places in the qualifying order, hope springs eternal for Harry because he's down in the 23rd spot, Bob Fry, and looking to move up, obviously.
If Harry could qualify, that would make it the quickest pro stock field ever. Steve?
As Vince Curry continues to power ahead of Harry Scribner, he runs a 7:21, well off his best of a 7:20 or 7:16. The 7:29 by Harry Scribner means one thing. Hope may spring eternal, but you got little hope when you run that slow. Here's the Dodge, the Wayne County Speed Shop car driven by Scott Jeffreyon. And everybody is thinking this is the car that's going to run the quickest. It has not done so yet to date. He got moved down to the number 4 spot with that great 7:14 by Glidden. A Chevrolet's alongside.
Absolutely. Gordy Rivera from Yuma, Arizona, in the 92 Beretta. He currently sits in the field in 13th position at a 7:21. So Gordy looking pretty good, but obviously a big leap to get up among the runners like Jeffreyon, Bob Fry.
The Dodge car, as dominant as it was the last 2 years when Darrell Alderman took it to Winston Championships, never won at this track. Came in as the quickest and fastest cars both times, but went away without winning. Jeffreyon has not won yet this year. Would like to rectify that here this weekend.
You're on board with Scott Jeffreyon taking the ride of your life in that Dodge. Here he goes down the quarter mile of solid concrete at the Texas Motorplex. 7:19 does not improve at 192. A 7:22 for Gordy Rivera does not improve in his time. That winds it up in qualifying. Let's go back to Steve.
Well, guys, certainly the highlight of this half hour in pro stock qualifying has been Bob Glidden moving up into the field. In fact, the 3rd qualifier. You see John Force right here. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about with him tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, remember, we'll be back at 10:30, 3:30, and 6:30 for the Pro Finals Live for the Cheap Auto Parts Nationals here in Ennis, Texas. For all of us at NHRA Today and John Force, see you tomorrow.
NHRA Today has been brought to you by Castrol Syntec, the new synthetic oil that protects in ways other oils can't. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this special offer from Diamond B.
The year 1992 in NHRA drag racing will long be remembered for one thing: 300 miles an hour. But Kenny Bernstein's record run is only part of the red-hot action. And Drag Racing 92 brings you all the excitement, drama, and intensity of this record-shattering year in one dynamic video. Bernstein, Eddie Hill, and Don Prudhomme chase Joe Amato's 3-year-long Top Fuel title. John Force fights off the advances on his funny car title by Cruz Pedregon and Al Hoffman. And in pro stock, Jerry Ekman and Warren Johnson wage a seesaw battle for the crown. Call 1-800-532-8989 to put your phone order in. Reserve now and receive a free Diamond P Sports hat for a limited time. Reserve now, 1-800-532-8989.
NHRA Today is a presentation of Diamond P Sports.